This is Growing Your Business with Jeffrey Scott. Recently, we visited Frank Mariani of Mariani Landscape in Chicago. We learned a tremendous amount, and I'm going to share with you what makes Frank and his company successful. We spent a few days together. We laughed, we cried, we got up early, we stayed up late. Frank shared with us his secrets confidentially, and we also helped him with his business, identifying low-hanging fruit. It was a tremendous experience. And what makes Frank successful is the following. First off, he's on the cutting edge. Personally and professionally, he's constantly driving himself forward to learn and to understand what's going on in Chicago and the whole country. Number two, he's networked. This man networks personally with all the key people in Chicago and around the country. How networked are you? If you want to be like Frank, you have to network like Frank. His passion is overwhelming. It drives him forward. It's unending. It's a bottomless cup of passion, and that lifts up and drives his very large company and all of his key players in it. Is your passion equally evident when we see you in your company, when your employees are interacting with you? Because Frank's is, they say the tide lifts all boats. His passion lifts every boat in his company. He's built a very smart team. He's got amazing talent on his team. Some of the talent goes back decades, and some of it is new. Clearly, he surrounded himself with people smarter than him, and he has empowered them. They have the ability to make the decisions, to take chances, and for that reason, they love working with Frank because they're able to fulfill themselves in his company. He's very generous. Frank says yes whenever he can, if at all possible. It's a generous spirit that pays forward and helps others because he knows it comes back to him and helps the company. Frank takes the long view. He has innovative ideas. He makes bets with his own money on where the industry is heading in order to be successful not only today but in the future. Constantly reinvesting his money back in the company. It's that taking of the long view that really makes them successful decade to decade. And lastly, Frank is the hardest working man in the landscape business. Bar none, he goes out every night, builds connections with architects. He still goes on sales calls. He onboards new employees. He's invested completely and with his whole body. And that's why Mariani Landscape continues to grow. And that's why he's one of the leaders in the industry. And so if you want to be successful like Mariani Landscape, then consider these traits I've just told you and assess yourself. How well do you compare, maybe not to Frank, but to your own potential on these traits? Cutting edge, networked, passion, building a team of leaders, generous, taking a long view, and hard working. If you can move the dial on even two of those elements, you'll go a long way to being more successful yourself. Thank you.